Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap a big win for Ferris State football. We'll check in with Bulldog hockey, and we'll also touch base with the Ferris State women's soccer squad. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog football, joined by head coach Tony Annese. And, Coach, welcome back to the show.
Great to be here.
Congratulations. A big win for your team this past Saturday night in the Anchorbone Classic, and you stay unbeaten at 7-0 on the year.
Yeah, absolutely huge win. Obviously with the implications of a neighborhood rivalry, everybody focuses on that, but for our team to be one game up in the GLIAC with 3 more to play, that's critically important for us. And then, just keeping the momentum with playoff implications and regional rankings and all of that stuff becomes a big part of it too. So absolutely a huge victory for us.
Obviously, if you're a player, type of game that you like to play in with a big crowd and a lot riding on the line.
Yeah, our guys love going there. It's been it's a great culture, great environment. They've built that with a lot of there's a lot of enthusiasm there, and so our guys go there and we just take it all in, and we love to be there, and we typically play well there.
As we go to some of the highlights, obviously in the first quarter, had a few struggles offensively, and it took a little while to get going.
Absolutely. You give us credit that we were patient enough. Our quarterback was really patient in regards to, when things weren't there, he wasn't forcing things. They caught us early on a couple things and pushed us back, and we didn't have great field position. We had penalties that stopped drives and things of that sort, but it didn't really become a force of destruction for us mentally, and we hung in there.
Obviously, Grand Valley going to score first here. Shantez Moss, first of 3 touchdowns, and they take the early lead, but defense really overall played well.
Yeah, defense played well, and I think that might have been their 4th possession. So we hung in there. Adrian Green had, I don't know what statistics. I thought he had like 8, PBUs, which were critically important. Here's a 3rd down play. Jay Rue finds Keandre, and that was a key score to, answer. We were down 10-0, and they made it 10-7.
Certainly a very resilient team. You were down a couple times here in the ball game and able to fight back.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those up and down games, which very similar to last year in that they were ahead. We'd come back, get ahead. The play right before half, they picked Jay Rue as only interception of the game and drove down and scored, and that put them in the lead. And that really was a little disappointing for us to be behind at halftime, but we fought back.
Talk about the play, your defensive line and the front part of this unit that really stopped the run.
Yeah, we like to make them one-dimensional, and people are like, dang, they threw it for a lot of yards, but which they do, but a lot of chances for us to make plays on the ball, and we had 3 picks in the game.
That's a big plays here offensively. Javon Shaw, who had a great game for you.
Yeah, Javon had another great game. He's really becoming a great player for us, and he's an exceptional pass receiver and a good runner after he catches the ball.
You see here the Bulldogs' chance to take the lead here, and J. Rue Campbell in the end zone, and had another solid performance.
Yeah, he rushed for over 100 yards, and he's a guy that can really, really be the consummate dual threat guy, and we're playing to his strengths.
Grand Valley State here late in the half, trying to march down the field and score, and obviously it was a
back. Yeah, Hodge just got hit. I wanted to point that one out. Sorry.
Obviously a back and forth game. Nick Dodson with the touchdown catch here, and had an unbelievable game for them.
Yeah, Nick Dodson was unbelievable, and I told our DBs I like the way we played in a lot of cases. Bart puts the ball in places that let his receivers make plays, and it's risk reward, and we were fortunate to score on defense, and that's those are big factors.
Obviously they had a big drive here to start the second half, but from there your team able to fight back once again.
Yep, right away. It's really the last clip that we have, but we hit Cy for a big touchdown here. Jay Rue breaks. This is our last drive. Jay Rue breaks it out for a great scramble, and then here's the gimmick play where it goes Jay Rue to Shaw and back to Jay Rue for a touchdown. We knew they had been covered 0. It's 4th and 2, and it was a great time to pick a gimmick play of that sort.
Obviously, key call in the game with it being 4th down and a lot riding on that play.
Yeah, people thought it took some courage, and I guess it does. But when you trust your players, offensive play callers make calls that great players can execute. And at the time, I felt comfortable, and so did Coach Kasula. And my son Steve in the box that that would be something that we could do, and we came into the game knowing it would be a 4th and short play, and it was executed.
Obviously a big win in terms of what was at stake, a big win for the fans, but now you have to move on, and one game at a time with Saginaw Valley State coming up next.
Yeah, absolutely. It's move on time. You know, it's always great to win big games like that, but you know, the sustainability of our program week in and week out is really what we hang our hat on, and being prepared. And so we look back, and we've only lost 3 regular season games since October 19th, 2013. And so when people say trap game, it really hasn't existed here for our guys, because they understand that, you know, it's time to put, you know, the last game behind us and move forward. And you know, so we're ready. We're ready to go and you know, take on the Cardinals.
Obviously, the Cardinals coming in 6-1 and having a great year as well.
Yeah, you know, and so all they're thinking is we beat Ferris, we're tied for first place. So you know, their mentality is they got to knock us off. Our mentality is, you know, we need to protect our lead and go out and play at the highest level in order to do so.
How difficult is this stretch right here? You had the battle at the ballpark, the Grand Valley game, back on the road this week at Saginaw Valley.
Yeah, I mentioned, you know, when I was here earlier, we segmented into three segments. First 4 games, and then we came home for Ashland. The second 4 were, you know, tough. You know, Ashland at home, homecoming, big rivalry game there. Then Tech at the ballpark. Then Grand Valley at Lubbers, and now Saginaw on the road. And so let's get through one more here, and we get to come home.
Obviously, going on the road, a challenge. What does it take to get some points and get a win this week?
Yeah, you know, it's be who we are. You know, we've been able to distribute the ball. I tell my quarterback all the time, you're the point guard, so you got great talent around you, you got a good offensive line, distribute the ball on offense, get the ball to playmakers, and if you're the playmaker at the time, you be the playmaker. Defensively, you know, I love the way our defensive run game's been. We're, you know, really good at that, and I think our secondary is growing in confidence. So I really like where we are. I think we're in a good place right now.
Obviously, J. Rue Campbell, a big game, named the GLIAC Player of the Week on the offensive side for the 3rd week in a row. And one guy we haven't mentioned, DeLon Stevenson, named the GLIAC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, you know, enough about J. Rue. You know, that's three weeks in a row. But for DeLon, you know, he had the pick 6 against Ashland too. So he's made some key plays, and the pick 6 against GV was huge, and then obviously the pick to win the game for us at the end was huge. So very proud of DeLon and how he's played. He's really been a good positive force on our team.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the win, 7-0, and best of luck going to Saginaw Valley this week.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Want to be a storyteller? The television and digital media production program at Ferris State University is the Create space for you. At Ferris, you will apply creative and technical skills to create stories worth telling. You will be immersed in your learning. You will practice every part of the production process. You will create in state-of-the-art facilities with the latest equipment and software. The TDMP program at Ferris State. Learn to make storytelling your career. Find out more at ferris.edu/TDMP.
That's it. I'm hangry. What is it going to take? A pizza for $5.99? Weekly specials? Online ordering? Actually, that sounds pretty good. I think I know just the place.
Banish your hangry self with Mancino's convenient online ordering. A 14-inch, one-topping pizza for only $5.99. Or try one of our unique weekly specials. And don't forget, Ferris students, you get 10% off. Call, go online, or stop in today.
What does it mean to be a bulldog? It means you will be focused. You will be inspired. You will be ready. You will be yourself. Ferris State University. Be a bulldog. Apply today at ferris.edu.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Soccer, joined by head coach Andy McCaslin. And Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Obviously, another big week for your team. A couple non-conference games with Tiffin and Northwood, but certainly 2 big wins for your program.
Yeah, it was nice, and following with the football team's big win on Saturday down in Allendale, that was awesome.
Obviously, two matches that don't mean a lot in terms of the conference race, but they certainly mean a great deal in terms of some of the postseason implications.
For sure. When you step out of the region at this time of the year, step out of the conference at this time of year, you're really focused on what it means for you in the region. So for us on Wednesday to take care of Tiffin, a GMAC opponent that it was our only GMAC opponent of the year, so to separate ourselves from that league a little bit, and then the work that we had done earlier in the season with the GLVC. So we've set ourselves up for a really good position down the road when it comes to the postseason. So taking care of Tiffin, and then Sunday on Senior Day with Northwood, it's one of those as well.
4-0 win over Tiffin, and as we go to the highlights of Sunday's game against Northwood, obviously you mentioned Senior Day and a senior class that's meant a great deal to your program.
A ton. They've been nothing but just a great group of kids that have poured their heart and soul into the program, and their work has been rewarded with a ton of wins, but they've just really grown up as people and are going to leave this place a really good group of kids.
Obviously a beautiful day here for soccer and a great crowd on hand here at the Bulldog Soccer Field.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day with the colors changing and the leaves, and us getting in and getting some goals early. So it was a great day, and we were excited to get on the board and put things away right from the start.
Obviously here early on had a big first half, but this is the opening goal from Mackenzie Dawes.
Yeah, great strength there from her to kind of hold off that defender and tuck the ball away. That's not as easy as that looked.
How important is it when you get that first goal to get the second one and take a 2-goal lead?
Yeah, you want to find that second one as quick as you can, and fortunately we had PA here at splitting their center backs and was able to tuck this one away.
She's had a big season for you and certainly a big week with a couple game winners.
Yeah, she's been a great addition. Coming in from out of the country, it was a little bit of an unknown for her, a little bit of an unknown for us, but she's been an awesome addition and has really been a nice addition to the group.
That last goal from Carly Duber to senior, and nice to see her score on Senior Day.
Yeah, and a great combination down the wing to get her, to get her some time to get forward, and she did a great job of getting to the end of that ball.
So a 3-0 lead here, and you'll battle here for another goal still here in the first half.
Yeah, Northwood, they're a solid group. They fight hard, they compete, and they're physical. You see a couple fouls there that we don't see all the time, but we knew that we could press their center backs a little bit, and Morgan gets a great finish there after she makes the center back miss.
Obviously 4-0 at halftime. What's the speech at halftime with a 4-goal lead?
Well, let's go get the next one, right? So at this time of the year, we're trying to be as sharp as we can as we get toward the league tournament and beyond. So for us to really, be up 4-0 at halftime, we were excited about that, but we weren't content. And that was one of the things we talked about after the game, after we didn't score in the second half and gave one up, is we need to be sharper, especially in these moments where, we didn't get good enough pressure to the ball here after a miscue on a corner. So for us, we have to hold ourselves to our own level. And for us to not get another goal in the game was a little disappointing, but at the same time, we sent the seniors out the right way with a big 4-1 win.
Obviously a key factor here in both games this past week. You had a big shot advantage, getting some opportunities and limiting the ones on the defensive side.
For sure, and that's one of the big things is for us to manage that and make sure that we get the shots that we need and the looks, because it's hard to score. It's hard to score goals, so the more shots you get, the better looks you're going to get and the more chances you're going to really create.
Obviously still very much here in the GLIAC race, and a big showdown coming up on Friday as you host the #1 team in the country in Grand Valley, and obviously a big rivalry, but a lot riding on the line in terms of the conference.
For sure. So right now there are 3 teams that are in the tournament within the league, so we are one of those 3 teams, so that's good. So that's the first step, is to get into that league tournament, and so we've accomplished that, and now we're fighting for seeding. So bringing Grand Valley in, it's a great group down there. They've got a really well coached group of kids, and Coach Hausler does a good job, and his whole staff, and all the student workers that they've got. They do a really good job of, preparing their team, but I'm really confident in my staff and how we're going to prepare and be ready to go on Friday.
Obviously, you had a big win over them last year towards the end of the season. How much confidence does that give you going in, knowing you can compete against a team like that?
Yeah, it kind of demystifies it a bit. We hadn't won that game as a program since 2003. So, that's a long time for, to really cement the, well, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Well, now we can, and we know that we can. And I think we match up pretty well in a lot of the areas on the field, if not better on our end in a few of those spots, if not a majority of them. So again, well-grouped, well-coached group of kids. They're going to fight hard. Our kids are going to be up for the game, so it's going to be a battle on Friday at 4.
Obviously, 3 matches left here in the regular season. Have another one on Sunday against Davenport, and certainly 3 that mean a lot, both in terms of the conference and in some of the NCAA postseason implications.
For sure. And we talk about those one game at a time, and the focus right now is Friday for us, and we're going to prepare for Friday. But at the undercurrent of that, we're still preparing for Sunday and next Friday as well. So there is no game that's more important than the next. They're all important at this time when we're talking about maybe hosting the regional and hosting the NCAA tournament. So we've got to go out and do our job and tuck things away and be tidy with our chances around the goal, be sturdy defensively, and really get it done.
Obviously, number 12 in the country last week. You've got a 14-game unbeaten streak. How exciting has that been for maybe the program right now and the program moving forward?
Yeah, it's great. Everybody walking by the office is excited, and the kids are excited, and they're getting to post it to social media and those types of things. But one of the really exciting things for me is that the kids on the team right now, they just go about their business. Like when it comes to game time, they are focused, they're ready to go, and that it shows a lot of maturity. And when we've got a group of 4 seniors that are playing right now, and only a couple are getting a lot of minutes, that it's a young group. And when that's the case, the ability to kind of take that ranking in stride and that national attention that we've not always had or not had before, it's pretty cool to know that they're just one game at a time and making it happen.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the wins this past week, and best of luck against Grand Valley on Friday and Davenport on Sunday.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Want to be a storyteller? The television and digital media production program at Ferris State University is the Create space for you. At Ferris, you will apply creative and technical skills to create stories worth telling. You will be immersed in your learning. You will practice every part of the production process. You will create in state-of-the-art facilities with the latest equipment and software. The TDMP program at Ferris State. Learn to make storytelling your career. Find out more at ferris.edu/TDMP.
Cuts back to the right side, breaks a tackle, touchdown!
Allowing the diagonal. Mackin shoots and scores! Corey Mackin off the rebound!
Run to Williams, back to Cusingberry, three-pointer up and good!
Celiac tournament champion.
Ferris State with a huge win!
Come rise with us. For more information, visit ferrisstatebulldogs.com.
At Ferris State University, we're more than our student-to-faculty ratio.
More than our variety of programs, our internship rate,
or our number of student organizations.
Here, you're never just a number.
You can be yourself and be focused on your goals.
Be inspired every day and be ready for tomorrow.
Be a bulldog. Go to ferris.edu.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog hockey, and with us, head coach Bob Daniels. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Rob.
Obviously, you knew going into this past weekend you were facing a tough opponent in Western Michigan, and certainly a hard series this past weekend.
Yeah, it was. It's different feelings on each night. I thought Friday night we didn't come out well. We fell behind 4-0 in the first, so that's an understatement. It was a combination where I didn't feel the team played very good. It was, we just we were off. First period against a team that had already played Bowling Green. And then Justin Kempmaster, while he played well that game, he didn't have a good first period. The combination of the two were down 4-0. But I was happy with the way we fought back in the game, got it back to 4-3, had some looks at the end of the game to tie it. But the next night, just to talk about the 2 nights right now, the next night, we started off all right in the first. If anything, we had the better of the play. And then didn't have a great finish to the game. So, we've got to get the start from Saturday night with the finish from Friday night and put that all together.
As we go to the highlights, we'll start with Friday's game at home, and nice to open the year at home in front of a nice crowd.
Yeah, we had a good crowd, and it was good to start at home. Just other than the start of the game for us, where you can just see we're just not on top of things. We're back in our end. We turned a lot of pucks over. Passing, receiving was off. I think the weekend before it really helped us in regards to playing the development team. Boy, that was a good pace. But what they aren't, because they're a younger team, they don't have the strength, the stick strength that we see with an older team that's probably equally as talented in Western Michigan. Although, I look at the scores, I see that the development team knocked off Notre Dame the next day, and they just knocked off Michigan. So, the win against them was no easy feat. Here we get on the board with about 15 seconds to go in the first, gets us to 4-1, and actually that really helped to slow us down. I thought now we picked up the pace. We're kind of more into the type of hockey you're going to have to play at this level against a really strong Division I team. We had plenty of chances. Here's a poor defensive play here where we back off the guy. We let him cut in on goal. But, as the game went on, I thought we got stronger and stronger. And Justin Kempmaster got stronger. He gave us a chance to come back, and we almost did.
Obviously, they had a big edge in shots in the opening period, but very even after that, you were able to generate some opportunities.
Yeah, and so we come out of the second 4-1. Would have been nice to get a little bit closer. This next sequence, you see Frankie Melton get his first goal of the year. He is a goal scorer. We get him to pay attention inside the blue line defensively, and we'll have a good player there. But right now, he's great offensively, has to pick up his pace on the defense. But here's Cole Norris's second goal of the game. And plenty of time right now. When he scored that goal, there was plenty of time for us to get the fourth, too. We had some good looks, pulled the goaltender, just weren't able to get the equalizer.
4-3 the final on Friday night, and then on Saturday night you had to turn around, go to Lawson Ice Arena, and never an easy place to play.
No, it's we got the same treatment at Lawson that Western Michigan got at Ferris State's Arena. I mean, it was a good crowd. They were vocal. It was a good atmosphere to play in.
Certainly here in the opening period had some opportunities again, and a very even first period of play, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it is even, and if anything, we had the edge. We ended up having to kill a lot this game. I think just the change maybe in conference officiating, they may call a little bit tighter than what we're accustomed to seeing in our conference. But we're sustaining some play in the offensive zone. You can see that we're getting some opportunities. Would have been nice for us to cash in. You're going to see a nice goal here by their player. Nothing Justin could have done, just a good finish by them. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about how we're playing. Just disappointed in the last two periods. Even this period here, it wasn't quite so bad. There's one I think Justin would like to have back on the wraparound. But the third period is really where I think I had the most disappointment on the weekend. I just didn't care how we played in the third period.
Obviously, had some young guys and a couple new guys that set out last year that were playing their first regular season action this weekend.
Yeah, and we'll get more back this weekend here. I'm thinking we're going to have Cameron Clark back on defense, which we need. We'll have Marshall Moyes back. So we're starting to get some of the guys that, realistically they could have played Finner. We held out this game too. He tweaked his knee on the game Friday night, and it's just too early in the season to try to force a guy back in the lineup. But we should be getting most of these guys back for the weekend series now. But we still had plenty of firepower. We had enough talent out there to do a much better job than what we did.
How does a series like this against a tough opponent really prepare you for the start of WCHA play in a few weeks?
Well, it will. This will be very similar to what we're going to see when we play in the WCHA, and I think next weekend the games against Mercyhurst are going to be a different look. They're well coached, but they're going to play a different style. They'll be a more of a laid-back type team it's generally, I should say that I haven't watched the tape yet of their games on the weekend, but generally speaking, they're a little bit. They don't quite pressure the puck as hard, but they'll get you into some dangerous areas. If you turn it over, they'll transition well. They've got a first line that's probably as good as any first line that we're going to face this year. They're a real strong group. So, but they are at the same end. They've got a lot of new faces too. They've got a lot of freshmen they're trying to fold in. So it should be a little bit different style of play.
You mentioned Mercyhurst hosting them Friday and Saturday, and obviously 6 of your next 7 at home. Nice to have this home stretch here early in the year.
It's nice to have the home stretch, although, I generally like to have more of these games in the second half at home because we'd like to reduce their travel in the second half. But it's the way the schedule worked out. We do have a couple long trips here in the first half where we go to Alaska Fairbanks, we go to Minnesota State, we go to the University of Minnesota to play the Gophers. So we're going to have a few long trips, which I do like getting out of the way.
Obviously, taking on Mercyhurst, non-conference action. What does it take to get some wins here and really get ready for the start of the WCHA?
Well, as I looked at our team, I think we've got to increase the tempo with which we play. We've got to be stronger in the defensive zone. And on the weekend, I had 3 penalties that I didn't think we needed to take that we've got to eliminate. So we've got to work on multiple fronts. There's not one thing that I would say, okay, this is the key to improvement. I like what I've seen so far, though. We've played 4 games. We're 2-2 in those 4. I've seen enough glimpses to know when this is all said and done, we're going to have a pretty good team. We're just not there yet.
What are these series like playing, obviously, Western Michigan, Mercyhurst, you got Michigan State, some of these close series against schools that aren't too far away. What does that mean in terms of travel and schedule non-conference games?
Well, I like the non-conference schedule with the schools that are close to home. One, when we have them in our rink, people are familiar with them. There's a good rivalry, a healthy rivalry with Western Michigan. Michigan State, obviously, that goes back almost 30 years of competing against them. So people are familiar with them. It's good to have those type of non-conference opponents. Mercyhurst, the same thing. They'll be a well-coached team, and the fact that our fans are familiar with Mercyhurst, the years they played in the GLIAC. So it's not a foreign school to people.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Aveglaven Ice Arena.
Thank you, Rob.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.